Well, welcome everybody. And here we are today at the final class of the year, if you can believe that. And we're about to do our annual competition where the class goes and does a research study for a major event in the city. And I think we have seven groups today, so 7 presentations. This should be fascinating what you've all found out. They had to do some secondary research to find out some major issues, interview some people, potentially at the charity or the company that they're representing. Then they created a research plan and went about doing their research. So it's going to be an exciting day. And the first group up, do you have a name for your group, or you want to introduce your group members?
Yeah, I introduced them in our project, so we can just get started.
Sure.
Perfect. Everyone can see the screen okay?
We're good, yes.
All right, perfect.
We Day! Get on your feet! Make some noise for the co-founders of We, Mark and Craig Kielberger!
How could Mark and Craig Kielberger, founders of the We Day and We Charity Foundation, be caught up in a large-scale political scandal? Let's find out. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Christina, and today with my colleagues Vivian, Chelsea, and Bibi, we'll be sharing our results for our market research project on We Charity, We Day, and the We Charity scandal. To start us off, I'll pass this over to Vivian, who's going to go over what we will be discussing today.
Thank Christina. So our presentation has in the past one, we will give you a brief overview of We Charity. In the part 2, we will explain the We Charity scandal. In the part 3, we will present our research question. In the part 4, we give you a breakdown summary of our primary and secondary research. In the part 5, we will present our finding beyond the research. And finally, we explain our recommendation for We Charity. Now I'm going to pass it over to Chelsea, and she will give you a brief background of the organization.
Thank you, Vivian. Now I'm going to give you a brief background of We organization. We Day is a series of youth empowerment events organized by We Charity throughout the year that inspires you to make a difference by volunteering. We Charity, formerly known as Free the Children, is an international developed charity and youth empowerment movement founded in 1995 by human rights activist Mark and Craig Kielberger, who operated educational and social justice programs internationally and within Canada. Me to We is the organization's for-profit social enterprise that provides products that makes an impact and empowers people to change the world with everyday consumer choices. Now, Bibiana will be explaining the challenge that the We charity organization face.
Thank you, Chelsea. So the challenge that the reorganization and that We Day faces all started in the summer of 2020 after Justin Trudeau announced the charity as the organization that would be administering the Canadian Student Service Grant, which has now been canceled. The process of deciding which charity would be administering this COVID relief program was unlike any other, as both the Prime Minister and the Financial Minister were actively involved in this process. This led to parties to believe that the only reason that the reorganization was chosen for this program was because Justin Trudeau and Bill Monroe had close relationships with the Kielberger brothers. So now we just want to ask you guys a couple of questions, or just one question. You guys can vote here. And we're wondering if you think if the We Charity scandal will affect the success of future We Day events. So you guys can just scan the QR code on the screen, and that should take you to our voting poll. So far, 100%, everyone says yes. We'll see if anyone says no. Ooh. Interesting. All right. So after reviewing the facts of the scandal, we asked ourselves the same question: if the We Charity scandal would affect the future of We Day events. We also wondered if the charity scandal would negatively impact the charitable sector in Canada. To find out, we conducted a primary and secondary research. So I'll pass along to Vivian, who will further discuss our research.
Thanks, Bibi. So for our research, we have two primary research methods, and I will be presenting our first primary research, which is called We Charity Scandal Survey Result. For our first primary research methods, we have to conduct a We Day survey to get insight on We Day and We Charity scandal. We received like 107 respondents for our survey within a 4-week period. And here is some our key results. The scandal have reduced the reputation of We Charity supporter. More than half of all participants have heard about the We Charity scandal, and it accounting for 53.85%, and approximately 56% of survey respondents indicated the scandal have not changed their decision to attend the We Day, but there are some other factors as to why they would not to attend. However, 38.46% of the participants said that they would attend the We Day event despite the scandal. And finally, We Charity must to be transparent about its finance to gain the support. Now I will be passing it over to Christina to take a deep look at our qualitative data.
Thanks, Vivian. So we gathered 3 quotes from our 2 qualitative questions that we felt encompassed the general feelings of our respondents. So we included a quote that supported We Charity, one that did not support We Charity, and a third more indecisive or neutral quote. So our first question asked participants for their feelings regarding the scandal. So participants often expressed that they felt disappointed, cheated, disgusted, and angry. This former employee stated that they were disappointed, disheartened, and were left in the dark about a lot of the information when the scandal came to light. On the other hand, some respondents did feel that We Charity is an organization that is still worth supporting. This respondent doesn't think that We Day events should be canceled due to the scandal, as the charity is still necessary. Some participants also did not have interest in the topic or had a lack of information, claiming that they would still need to research more about the topic before giving an opinion, or just generally did not have an interest in We Charity whatsoever. For our second question, we asked respondents why they would or would not attend We Day. A lot of respondents mentioned the scandal as, for this question, like this respondent who does not believe that the values that were once a part of the We organization still exist. They think that the beliefs of the organization are gone and meaningless. There are also participants who would attend We Day. One participant mentioned that they would attend because aside from the Trudeau, Monroe, and Kielburger family ties and the benefits to those families, We Day is for youth as a whole. It's about the massive demographic that has likely benefited from these events for many years, unaffected by the scandal. Similar thoughts are also shared, stating that as the event is still for a charity, it still helps people. And finally, many respondents indicated that they would not attend due to reasons outside of the scandal. This participant, for example, has not been involved with We Charity and will not be involved in the future, scandal or no scandal. So this sort of shows how we received a lot of mixed results. Next, I'll pass it to Chelsea, who will be sharing the results of our focus group.
Thank you, Crystal. For our second primary research, we have conducted a focus group where 9 participants originally signed up and only 3 attended the session. To start off our focus group, the participants were given a scenario based on 2 charities, A or B, and were asked their opinion on which charity they would support. Charity A large organization that is well known to the public and has been involved in scandals, or Charity B, a fairly small organization that is not well known by the general public. The consensus shared by the 3 participants is that they would all support Charity B because of their transparency. After the participants shared their opinion based on the presented scenario, They were all asked how familiar they were with We Day and We Charity. The 3 participants expressed different answers. Participants were then asked if the We Charity scandal would affect their decision to support the charity. All 3 participants particularly expressed that this is due to the lack of trust and transparency that there currently is with We Charity as it stands right now. We also went further in depth on what We Charity could do if everything they did was deemed ethical after the organizational review. Now, I will be passing it back over to Bibiana, and she'll be going into details about our secondary research.
Thank you, Chelsea. For our secondary research, we took a look at survey results from the Angus Reid Institute, a Canadian not-for-profit foundation committed to the independent research. This survey conducted in 2020, where the Angus Reid Institute set out to find the underlying cause of decrease in donations in Canada. They surveyed a randomized sample of 1,606 Canadian adults who were members of their forum. Out of those respondents, they were able to classify 13% as non-donors, 35% as casual donors, 30% as prompted donors, and 23% as super donors. The participants were classified based on how much and how often they donated to charities in 2019. Non-donors donating very little or not at all, casual donors donating some of the time, prompted donors donating most of the time, but super donors donating generous amounts to multiple causes. The data was then used to shed a light on how the pandemic and the political scandal has impacted charities in 2020. Overall, the Angus Reid survey concluded the following major findings. A majority of Canadians, regardless of donor segment, say that they believe that the We scandal is a serious issue. Super donors were least likely to feel that the We scandal is a symptom of a larger problem with large Canadian charities. However, 55% of Canadians surveyed disagreed. And lastly, 4 in 5 Canadians say that they prefer donating to small local charities instead of large organizations that operate nationally like We Charity. Next, I'll pass it over to Vivian, who will be presenting our research findings.
Vivian, you're muted. You're still muted.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
No problem. Keep going.
Thanks, BB. Now we talk about the unfortunate incident that happens. Let's talk about what we learned from this moment and how it will affect the charity and another big charity in the long run. After We Charity scandal, many people have view of organization impacted. In our finding, we conclude that our survey and focus group respondents would most likely not to attend the future We Day event. However, there's still some of those who would like to attend the event despite the scandal. The majority of our survey respondents, our focus group participants, feel that they can longer church with charity and larger charity organization than the negative impacting the charitable sector. In order to regain the public trust, We Charity must to undergo serious changes. Now I will be passing it to Christina, and she will explain about recommendation for We Charity.
Thanks, Vivian. So we used ideas and suggestions from our survey and focus group participants to generate our recommendations. However, it's difficult for us to make effective recommendations without knowing the outcome of the organizational review, as that's yet to be completed. As demonstrated in our findings, we know that We Charity's cause is still one that many are willing to contribute to. So based on our research, we propose that We Charity focuses on regaining the public's trust, and here are some ways that they can do this. First and foremost, they can conduct a change in leadership. This will show that they're willing to make huge steps in the right direction and make changes for the better. This would also create more distance from the political scandal. Another thing that they can do would be to support other causes by using their connections. So they can support smaller projects or even smaller charities and promote them through their social media as well. This will still focus on the core goals of the charity, which is obviously helping people in need. Finally, they can create a plan for transparency, especially with their finances. Creating a code of conduct for their employees and volunteers and having them participate in ethics training is also a step in the right direction and will assure donors that their donations are going to the proper places. This will also dispel any future allegations that may arise. While it will take a lot of time to rebuild the trust that was lost, but given these results to our research, this will not be the end for We Charity or We Day. These changes will not only gain trust for We Charity, but will also help the impacted charitable sector. To wrap up our presentation, I'll pass it over to Bibi.
Thank you, Christina. To bring our presentation to a close, we would like to answer our topic and subtopic questions. Will the We Charity scandal affect the future of We Day events? Ultimately, we believe that the scandal will and has affected the future of We Day. However, this will not be the end for the organization, as they still have the ability to rebuild trust with Canadian donors. As for if the We Charity scandal has negatively affected the charitable sector, we also believe that it has. The scandal has left a lot of Canadian donors wondering about the financial transparency, which has resulted in hesitance when choosing to donate to large charitable organizations. To wrap up, we would like to thank everyone for listening to our research findings. We hope you have found it very interesting. If you have any questions, feel free to use the survey that we put up earlier or in the chat or through the mic. Thank you.
Wow. Hey guys, fabulous presentation. So one of the best ones I've seen in all the years I've done this class.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well done. You've mastered Zoom with your backgrounds and doing a Slido, and it was you told a story, which was really great. So congratulations. Also, the research, you got to your 100 responses. It's too bad you only got 3 people attending your focus group.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I have a question about that.
Yep.
Did you see any differences in your responses from your quantitative study and the focus group? Did you learn anything new or different, or see any discrepancies or anything, or was it all kind of matching up?
It was mostly matching up. One thing that I personally noticed was when we didn't give our survey respondents a scenario, but when we gave them the scenario, I was more surprised that a lot of the focus group respondents chose Charity B, which was the one that was a smaller organization. Because personally, I would not choose a smaller organization. It's a little on, their credentials might not be as great. But that also matches up with the Agnes Reed research study as well.
Yeah, I think overall, there was a consensus that this scandal has made a lot of people aware that charities aren't being very transparent. And regardless of whether they want to donate to smaller or larger charities, they still are hesitant to donate money because they don't actually know where it might be going.
Yeah. And
but overall, it was the same.
Sorry. Yeah, and one thing that they also did mention that was that if they came back, especially in the focus group, if We Charity comes back and everything is deemed ethical after the organizational review, they'd still be hesitant. So, for example, they used an example of donating $100. If they had $100, they might only donate $20 to We Charity just to see what they're going to do with that money before they donate the rest of the $80, the full 100.
Very good. Well, once again, congratulations. Excellent presentation, well rehearsed. The research sounded like you did a real research study. So it's which you did. So one other last question, your sample of 107 responses, was the sample consistent with the target audience for We Day?
So our target audience for the research study was those 18 young adults, which is 17 and up. And we did find that it was somewhat consistent with most of our participants being aged 18 to 29, I believe it was. Yeah.
Well, that's always an important question when you do research. So it's very good. So thank you guys. Great job. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, our next group is Megan's group. And I'm just gonna take over the screen so Megan can take over the screen. Hold on. Now I'm gonna get out of there. All right, so Megan's group, who's in Megan's group here? Let's just see.
Okay, guys, you wanna just set up Andre?
Hi, Sydney. How are you?
Hello. Just getting ready.
That's okay. Don't worry about it, guys. Take your
Okay.
time.
Hey, Ron.
Hi, Lucas. How are you?
Good, you?
Good, thanks.
Are we ready? If I could just get
You, you can start anytime, guys.
I'm ready.
I'm good whenever.
Okay, perfect. All right. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Cindy, and my group members are Austin, Andre, Lauren, Lucas, and Megan. And we are proud to present our research project on the National Bank Open, formerly known as the Rogers Cup. Today, our agenda is as followed. We have our our hypothesis, our research approach, data analysis, our recommendations, and our conclusion.
Today, the World Health Organization officially calling it a pandemic.
The game tonight has been postponed.
We all know that most of the sporting events have been either postponed or canceled at this point.
A baseball game in Japan held behind closed doors. Soccer fans known for their passion and energy.
To football matches, fields, arenas, and stadiums will be empty for a long time to come.
March Madness, one of the greatest spectacles in all of sports, has been knocked out.
Of events being postponed or canceled, and young athletes robbed of their chances to shine.
The possibility of athletes playing in empty stadiums like these is growing.
A Division III basketball tournament in Baltimore yesterday was played without fans,
putting on their weekly SmackDown show without a crowd.
Another recent analysis is predicting U.S. sports will lose at least $12 billion.
But the social and economic impact cannot be understated.
A game without the fans. Hard to imagine for some of the sport's biggest stars.
I ain't got the fans in the crowd. That's who I play for.
It's just, it seemed more like out of a movie than reality.
And the four major professional sports leagues in North America have been silenced. For how long is anyone's guess.
As seen in the video we created, our study aims to explore the impact in which COVID-19 will have on the 2021 National Bank Open ticket sales and attendee interest. The 2021 National Bank Open is currently set to take place this year from August 7th to the 15th. Our main research question for this project was, would COVID-19 implicate future ticket sales and attendee interests to the 2021 National Bank Open Toronto? We'll find out. Now on to Lauren with the hypothesis.
Thank you, Cindy. So our first hypothesis is that the number of ticket sales will decrease as attendees may still be uncomfortable attending in-person sporting events due to COVID-19. And our second hypothesis is that attendees will prefer a virtual event rather than attending an in-person sport event due to the COVID-19 as well. So now on Lucas for the research approach.
Thank you, Lauren. Good afternoon, everyone. So our research study is based on a qualitative and quantitative research approach. Our primary research was collected through a qualitative survey through the online platform SurveyMonkey and a quantitative interview. Our secondary data was gathered through existing databases, including the Humber Library, Google Scholar, Google itself, the National Bank Open, and Tennis Canada websites. We had a total of 93 participants participate in a survey, and we also had 2 participants participate in an interview. Now on to Megan with the data analysis.
Thank you, Lucas. Our participants were 65.59% female and 32.26% male, 1.08% binary, and 1.08% identified as other. Majority of our participants were aged 18 to 34, and 49.46% of participants were from Toronto, 41.94% said they were from the GTA, and 8.60% were from other parts of Ontario. When analyzing our research, we found majority of our participants were not tennis fans, nor had they ever attended the National Bank Open. Although, when asked how comfortable they were to attend the National Bank Open in person this year on a scale of 1 to 10, the average answer was 5. When respondents were asked their preference on attending the National Bank Open, 50% said in person, 46.34% said live broadcast, and 41.25% said virtual. However, when asked if they had an increased anticipation for in-person sporting events since the COVID-19 pandemic, 60.22% said yes and 39.78% said no. Overall, our survey research shows that people are divided about attending in-person sporting events due to the COVID-19 pandemic, but they are hopeful on attending them again after it all clears up. Along with the survey, we also conducted 2 interviews with past attendees and volunteers of the National Bank Open. The findings of our interviews were positive yet unexpected. Both interviewees expressed their preference in attending the event in person, although they would settle for a live stream broadcast or virtual experience if necessary. However, the safety measures and COVID-19 health and safety regulations for the tournament would be the principal factor in this decision. Both participants also mentioned that if doing a virtual experience, they would not pay the same price as they initially would with an in-person tournament. And now on to Austin for our recommendations.
Thank you, Megan. And for the recommendation, first, we recommend that the National Bank Open proceed with a live broadcast and virtual approach for the 2021 tournament. As our research shows, people are still hesitant to attend in-person events during the current state of the COVID-19 pandemic. Next, in case the National Bank Open proceeds with an in-person tournament, we recommend that the National Bank Open should implement strict health and safety protocols while abiding by all government COVID-19 regulations, including mandatory masks, social distancing, fewer spectators, screening questions, temperature checks, rapid testing, increased cleaning, sanitation, and reduce vendors. And finally, we recommend that if the National Bank Open offers a virtual experience or ticket to the tournament, the ticket price should not exceed 30% of the in-person ticket price. There should be incentives included in the virtual ticket purchase, such as swag bags, merchandise, exclusive content like live Q&A with players, access to watch warm-ups, and food and beverage. Also, offer online engagement opportunities, including prizes, social media, and regular contests, pre-recorded entertainment. And now on to Andre with the conclusion.
Thank you, Austin. According to our research data, if our respondents were to purchase a virtual ticket for this year, they would not pay over $50. Some people wouldn't be comfortable attending in person. Despite that, the majority of respondents are still eager to attend in-person sporting event. We recognize that the majority of our survey respondents were not tennis fans, skewing our data to not correlate with our research question and hypothesis. Our hypothesis, based on the number of ticket sales decreasing as attendees may still be uncomfortable attending in-person sporting events due to COVID-19, resulted in a split response of 50 to 50%. This shows that people are expecting to attend sporting events post-pandemic, but currently are not sure whether to attend or not. As for our hypothesis based on participants' preference of attending a virtual event rather than attending an in-person sporting event was incorrect. This is due to the majority of respondents ranking in-person events as their top preference. In conclusion, COVID-19 would not implicate the future ticket sales and attendance of the 2021 National Bank Open, as people are still anticipating and excited to attend live sporting events. Furthermore, based on our research, if there is any implicating factor to the decrease of ticket sales for the 2021 National Bank Open, it's the lack of interest in tennis compared to the interest in other major sports in Toronto. Dear classmates and Ron, thank you so much for the attention. We're very honored to present our research and findings in front of you today. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Special thanks to my team, Austin, Cindy, Lauren, and Megan with Lucas. You're an awesome. Thank you.
Hey guys, great job. Very precise research study, I thought. I liked your opening with the video. You set it up really well. So you told a story, which was what I was asking for. And in research, data can be really boring. So when you tell a story, it becomes interesting, and you were able to do that very effectively. In your 93 responses, I have a question for you. What was the sample makeup in terms of age, and those that attend the event? Did they match up, or what did you find?
We found that most of the people that did, like most of the respondents, they weren't tennis fans and they hadn't attended the event, and the majority of the respondents were 18 to 34. So it doesn't really align with the target audience that usually attends I guess it used to be the Rogers Cup, but the National Bank Open.
Okay, that's good to know. And your focus group, you only had 2 attendees. Was there a reason for that, or just couldn't get anybody, or?
Well, we did interviews, so we found people that we knew have like either attended in the past or volunteered. Like participant 1, she volunteered. She's been like an active volunteer with the Rogers Cup, with the National Bank Open for over 7 or 8 years or so, and she couldn't even remember how many times she's attended. And she even said that she already registered for this year's event as well. So she's hoping to go, but she's waiting to find out because she registered last year as well. So they were adamant tennis fans, that's for sure.
Okay. And did anything surprise you from your study? Did you start out thinking you had a hypothesis, right? So anything surprise you when you went forward?
I think one thing that surprised us, or at least when we started, we thought a lot of people would say no, they don't want to attend in-person events quite yet. But as I'm guessing, as like the research started to develop more and more, and we got people to interview, to survey, it became more of a yes. And also because I think of everything what's happening right now, especially within the province, people are starting to be more eager to go out and do things. So what surprised us the most was people are, well, it wasn't really surprising because like we all feel it, but everyone is starting, like they want to go back to normal, where they're not so scared to go to these events anymore. Or we thought it was going to be the opposite.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of pent up demand.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. People are dying to get out and see a live event.
Yep. So that's why we said at the end, like, it wasn't COVID that stopped us, like that made our question wrong. It was more of our target audience or the people that did the survey, because it was a demographic that isn't interested in tennis. So we didn't get quite a very big range of people who really like tennis to give us a real concrete answer of whether they would buy a ticket or not. So that also was surprising to us.
Mm-hmm. But at least with the interviews, both interviewees were like tennis fans and like were the ideal demographic and target audience for the National Bank Open, and they both were saying, like, they both had the same responses that they are ready to go back and they want to go to in person, but they both multiple times throughout the interviews were like, as long as there's strict health and safety protocols, there's no issue going. So they both, obviously we can't speak on the whole demographic, but at least we got a little dabble into it to see that some people in the demographic are ready and willing to go.
Well, guys, that's okay, because qualitative research is really directional. It gives you a flavor and meaning into some of the stuff that you may find out in your quantitative study. And the nice thing is sometimes is when you can add to your recommendations from the qual. So you were able to do that. And that was really well done. Also, you sound like experts, just like the last group. So you sound like experts because you've done the research, right? It's not Cindy or Megan saying, oh, I don't know, I think blah, 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 blah. You've done the research and you can back it up with really good information and you sound knowledgeable. So you actually got into your research, you're knowledgeable about it, and you learn something from it. So I think that was the whole point of this study. So all of you, as we go forward today and you go forward from this class, when you work for an organization, if you can do what you just did, you're very valuable to that organization because you sound smart. Like you're not just sitting there, excuse me, pulling it from your ass. You're actually doing, you know what I mean? Like you're doing it with conviction because you got data behind you. The other thing I like in the first two groups is you both had good secondary data to support some of the things that you were saying as well, because it's always good to build on that secondary data when you do a research study. Okay. So great job, guys. I thought you did a very good job. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ron.
All right. Our next group is Diana, Monica, Sunny. You guys ready to go?
Yes, we are ready.
Hello, hello.
Yes, we're ready.
Okay. Let me learn how to share. I never know how to share on Zoom.
Go to the bottom in the middle. It says share screen. There's a green. Click on that and then click on the screen you want to share. There we go.
You're seeing everything? Okay. There we go. Everyone ready?
Yes.
Hello, everyone. We are the World Music Festival Research people, and I'm here. My name is Sony.
I'm Monica.
My name is Diana.
I'm Tina.
And I'm Camille.
Today we will be talking about the following topics, including the research question, research sources, which will include the primary and secondary research results, conclusion, and recommendation. Now Monica is going to talk about our research question.
Okay, thank you, Sony. As we may know that FALP is an annual electronic dance music and hip-hop music festival held at Downview Park, Toronto, Ontario. Since its inception in 2012, the festival attracts crowds numbering in 10,000 and notable acts including Martin Garrix, Hardwell, Steve Aoki, and Tiesto. But in 2017, 30 FALP music festival concert goers were taken to hospital with overdose. This is how our research was started. And our research question is, how can the security measures and control the amount of illegal illicit substance that attendees use? And our sub-problems are, how can we make sure the attendees are safe with drug users in the event? And the second one is, what should we do to increase the safeness of the event? And now Diana will explain about the secondary research.
Thank you, Monica. We read different articles about the drugs problems in the festival in Canada and also about the deaths that happened in Bell Festival in 2014. Based on the secondary research that we gathered, most articles agree that as the festival season approached, a series of drug-related deaths and illnesses and Canadian music festival in summer start. So each year, it studies and improves its harm reduction strategies before the next festival. We had focused on the article which is from Global News, April 2015, said that that trigger drug prevention measure and safety is not to be ignored. So experts in that article offer their tips on how to stay safe. Drug distribution at large festival is on the rise. And the biggest problem is the people choosing to take drugs don't really know what is in them. For example, in Bell Festival 2014, people pick up drugs or pills from the ground and then consume it. Likewise, we gathered information from the Canadian Centre of Substance Use and Addiction. Reports investigate drugs and alcohol-related incidents at Canadian Music Festival. The inform from June 2015 revealed that the last 5 young adults died while attending Canadian Music Festival between June and August 2014.
drugs or alcohol were suspected to be contributing factor in the deaths. The report also said that people never really know exactly what is in the pill or powder, and also the effect it's going to have on them. Finally, the report recommends that electronic dance music events such as the Bell Music Festival should investigate the possibility of use drug testing kits, or so drug user can check if the substance they have been given are impure. Now, Sonny is going to talk about our primary research.
Continuing with the sources, we use qualitative research method in both of the forms of our research. We include the survey monkeys and interviews. There's only 3 questions here. However, we have 21 questions, which are few of them are related to first identifying who is answering the questions, and then later on all are related to the research. Few of the questions include: have you ever attended a music festival before? Have you been to any event where there are drugs users? Do you think using drugs at the event makes the event exciting? Questions like these helped us know an individual's perspective toward the society reality. Later on, we had interviews with 3 experts. That's it. We only had 3. They were related to the event industry, and they had the same questions, like a little different wording. Will you use drugs at an event? Have you ever felt unsafe at a music festival before? Have you ever seen anyone at well take illegal substance? Questions like these also helped us like find out their view about it. Even though they're professionals, we needed to know have they ever seen anyone in a big crowd seeing anyone take illegal substance and everything. The answers are the results are gonna be later on explained by Tina. Go ahead, Tina.
After we have collected the right data and answered the question from step 1, it's time for a deeper data analysis. During this step, the data analysis tools and software are extremely helpful. Funky is a good software package for advanced statistical data analysis. Based on our research, most of the gender are female between 19 to 25 years old. And following are the age group from 26 to 30 chose to go to the music festival. The people most love the music in the event than dance or care other people around them. Moreover, 70% of people say no to the question that using drug make the event more exciting, and 50% say yes for the question that the legalization of drugs make the event feel insecure. For the last question, we asked for how much people will rate for the well safety protocol, and the highest is 25% and stay at the 7 out of 10. Also, we interviewed 3 individuals. We cannot share any names. However, they were expert in the event world. All 3 individuals agree with the fact that the drug used in Bell Festival can cause a loss of decrease in the profit. And in conclusion, people love to go to the festival to enjoy the music the most, and they do not want to use the drug at the event because they believe that it is insecure once people using drug at the event. And Karima gonna make a conclusion.
Thank you, Tina. With reviewing our problem, the increase of drug users in the View and Music Festival affects the success of the event. We have come to a decision based on our research we collected that yes, drug affects the event because from our secondary research, which is in review from the law enforcement, they believe View and Music Festival is at fault for the deaths of the youth overdosing. But in addition, from our primary research, we found out that some of the attendees did blame the deaths towards music festivals, but then others blamed the deaths towards the youth overdosing. So overall, we agree that the deaths do affect the reputation of the event. Our suggestions, in regard to our suggestions of our hypothesis, how can the security measures control the amount of legal ethyl substance at the attendees use? We suggest that Field Music Festival, change it, Sony. We suggest that music festival improve their safety protocol for future events because it will help with their safety with the event. Because from our survey, 34.3% strongly agree that the increase of safety protocol will help with making the event safer, while 33.3% also agree. Secondly, from our survey, we found out that 58.6% were not able to reach a medical worker safely and effectively to help them with their case, which isn't good because it allows for a higher risk of chances of tarnishing the event's reputation. Nonetheless, increasing the EMT is highly important because it will hopefully allow to prevent overdosing or accidents to occur. Also, finding ways to ensure that illegal drugs are not used or the consumption rate is important as well. Lastly, advertising that the event is a drug-free event minus the section of the legal drug, if it's allowed, would help with improving the event to be safe because many of the deaths related towards the event are due to overdosing. From the survey, 70% believe that drug use do not make the events more exciting, and 77.8% believe that they won't even use drugs during the event, meaning they aren't going to Field Festival for the drugs, rather the music, dancing, and enjoying company. Thank you for listening to our presentation.
Great, thank you guys. I have a couple questions for you. What was your sample size in your survey?
So like how many people did it?
Yes.
100.
Okay. And were they mostly people that would attend the event itself?
Like if they attend itself? Some of them, like not all of the numbers.
Okay. And you had 3 qualitative interviews, right? Interviewees?
Yeah, you're correct.
Okay. So when you came up with the recommendation about EMTs, was that based on the research or is that just applied from the findings that you had?
It was based on the research and the findings.
And the findings, okay. Because I did like how you improved safety protocol, you backed up your answer with real data. I thought that was really well done. Just wanted to let you know that. So good job, guys. All right, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Ron.
Okay, so we're going to move on to our next group. And our next group is Vanessa, Catherine, Michelle, and Ravni. Hi,
Hello.
Catherine. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. So can you just wait 1 second? I just have to set your score sheet up here. Hold on. 130, okay. One second here, just setting up the score sheet and then we can get started. Okay, you can start anytime.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Ron and my fellow.
Wait, give us a second, please.
Oh my God, sorry, guys.
Don't worry about it.
Here we go.
Okay, thank you. Okay, good afternoon, Ron and my fellow classmates. It is our pleasure having you join us today as my group members, comprising of myself, Michelle Edwards, along with Vanessa Williams, Catherine Power, and Ravni Carr, pitch our final presentation to you based on one of the largest publicly attended film festivals in the world, the Toronto International Film Festival. Who is the Toronto International Film Festival? The Toronto International Film Festival is a dedicated organization that presents the great Canadian and international film experiences, categories of movies played at TIFF, gala presentations, Midnight Madness, special presentation, Discovery, Masters, and more. Today, our research hypothesis is to highlight the issues the attendees of the Toronto International Film Festival faced during this pandemic, issues such as safety concerns, travel bans, and engagement. Before we dive further into our presentation, I would like to share a short story with you all, so sit back, relax, and enjoy.
No love anymore. Rumor has it. 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 Rumor has it.
Wow, I just love that song. Don't you agree? Rumor has it. Okay, I'm not a scientist, but my theory is that the greater research a person does, the more likely the probability of solving any problem. One of the problems I am referring to is this rumor that has been going around about the popular organization, one of the most widely known to attract everyone, including popular celebrities each year. Wait, before I tell you, can you take a wild guess and whisper who I will be referring to? Of course, TIFF, the Toronto International Film Festival, that I believe everyone loves, or better yet, should love. There has been pure speculation on the streets, social media platforms such as Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and even TikTok that TIFF is struggling very badly since COVID hits home. Since it seems to be viral news, again rumors, my group members and I, as market research students, could not let this rumor about TIFF slide. We needed answers, and we needed it then. Words were that people misses the in-person buzz, the fancy dressing up, of course, the face-to-face engagement, and all the live perks. Well, we have to agree. What did you guys? We have to agree, sorry. Wait, did you guys see the video on LinkedIn with this 7-year-old boy all suited up like a little prime minister telling the world, I'm so tired of in the house. I am so happy to be outside. That poor thing. We are indeed tired. However, as tired as we might get, COVID seems to be hanging around, and people fear going to an in-person event since they do not know how safe they will be. Hearing this allows my group members and I, as market research students, to desire getting to the bottom of what people are saying and how TIFF, this organization, has been coping. I will stop here because my group members and I, who we call ourselves research investigators, will be sharing precise findings of our research starting right now. Now on to Vanessa.
Thank you, Michelle. Today I'll be elaborating more on our primary approaches method and our results that we have obtained from this section. We have decided to use two primary approach, which are SurveyMonkey questionnaires and a personal interview with TIFF brand manager, Karen Steen. For our SurveyMonkey, we have created 24 questions in hope of receiving at least 100 respondents. We have achieved a goal of 102 respondents, and some of the questions that are involved in our questionnaires are: 1. What is your gender? 2. How is COVID-19 affecting your TIFF experience online? Would you feel comfortable attending the Toronto International Film Festival in person after this pandemic? How many times have you attended the Toronto International Film Festival? And a few more questions were asked. SurveyMonkey results. The results of our question, how is COVID affecting your TIFF experience online, let us understand that 40% of our 102 respondents say that they miss human interaction, while 35% of the attendees say that ticket prices are too expensive, and 25% believe that the experience isn't the same as in-person event. After we figured out that both male and female are 43% more likely to visit the Toronto International Film Festival, while 15.69 prefer not to be specific with their age. A total of 102 respondents took this survey question. For our personal interview with Karen Steen, brand manager of TIFF, we all each had to create 2 questions with a total of 8 questions. We wanted to focus our question on how the Toronto International Festival operated during this pandemic. Karen Steen responded to our questions, was really informative and helpful. We asked her questions like, how has the last year affected your coworkers and yourself at TIFF? What are some of the precautionary measures that TIFF would take to make this event safe for attendees in person? Would you say that the pandemic has caused TIFF to lose the support of long-term members or even performers, or the support is still the same? Karen responded to our questions with precise details. She informed us that the precautionary measures that TIFF implemented to keep their event safe is taking actions such as making sure that there's enough sanitations available, making sure that there's elevator limitation, proper signage, 25 capacity in the store, movie theaters, and a staying 6 feet apart. After, TIFF also have support members and fundraisers from the Toronto community that gives back to them. Karen also highlighted that she is not going to make a stable decision on if the Toronto International Film Festival will still be doing digital platforming this year or they will be fully in person. But nevertheless, TIFF attendees will cooperate with the COVID procedures to make the event safe to attend. Catherine will be elaborating more on our secondary data. Catherine?
Thank you, Vanessa. The two sources of secondary data are TIFF's official website as well as Humber College Library. Both resources have supplied us with the same overall recommendations on how TIFF has and is continuing to implement provincial and federal health guidelines regarding COVID-19, such as assuring all attendees and staff wear proper PPE, socially distance, and not consuming any food on the grounds. TIFF staff came up with many ways to allow the festivals to continue during such an uncertain time, with opening up drive-ins, outdoor theaters, so that attendees can enjoy the films in different spaces, allow viewers to watch from home, and allowing some to watch at the actual TIFF theater at limited 25% capacity. Now over to Renvleet.
Thank you, Catherine. This slide shows the graphical representation of data. First graphs depict seating capacity in cinemas before COVID.
Did we lose her? I think we lost her. She's frozen.
Okay.
Maybe 152.
Okay.
Ravi, can you start over again, please?
Apart from
Ravani, can you please start over?
from this,
Ravneet.
apart from dancing and including masks and ties also.
Ravneet, can
If
you
I talk graph, then it should.
It's okay, guys, don't worry. Ravneet, can you hear me? Okay, let's move on, guys. You guys move on.
So Ravani was explaining our geographical data, and we have two graphs here. One represents the seating capacity versus during the pandemic, and one showing the ticket prices 2019 versus ticket prices in 2020. For the seating capacity during the pandemic, we have like 20%, 5% seating capacity, and before the pandemic, we had like a 75% or 100% capacity. For ticket prices in 2019, we had a whopping 56%, while versus here in 2020, we have a 44% because as I mentioned earlier, a lot of persons cannot afford it. I will now be passing back on the presentation to Michelle as she will go into a recommendation.
Okay, thank you very much, Vanessa. Now on to our recommendation for next step. Many attendees are excited to get back to live in-person events, but in spite of the excitement, some of these attendees are people with coronavirus anxiety. It is important for TIFF staffs to put all the proper measurements in place to help attendees feel safe. Well, TIFF has been doing that, but below are some recommendations we consider for them. Utilizing staggered entry time to avoid queues, implementing very strict social distancing and personal protective equipment, incorporating Eventbrite, which has a range of built-in social distancing tool for events from time entry to contactless ticketing, offered a hybrid event model, where some people attend in persons and other watch from home. Now we will do a drawback to our research. It has been a very quick process for us. Sorry. It has been a very quick process for us in reaching Karenstein at TIFF for information, which has helped us greatly from utilizing all the resources on their website, since we were hearing directly from a TIFF member and she was very helpful. For our survey, we were not getting as many participants as we expected in the first half, but we sent out a reminder, and later on, persons were very supportive. Both our primary and secondary resources were helpful in backing up our hypothesis. Our survey showcases that every individual has a different view about attending the in-person event. Okay, now on to our conclusion. In conclusion to this research that we conducted for 7 weeks, we started on May 12 and completed our research on April 23rd, 2021. We have gathered information using 2 forms of data, which are primary and secondary. These primary resources include articles, survey monkeys, questionnaires, and informational interview. The secondary data resources were garnered from the Toronto International Film Festival and the Humber Library website to ensure we have accumulated the accurate information we needed for this research. We have followed 4 steps to help analyze our data and complete our research. These are defining our question, setting our clear measurement priorities, collecting our data, analyzing and interpreting our results. And this concludes our presentation. Thank you so much. Is there any questions? If not, it was our pleasure presenting to you today. However, we know Ron have questions.
You guys are the king of gifts, I tell you. Means. I don't know, it's awesome. So yeah, so it's good research study, guys. I'm glad you got to do some interviewing with Karen. That was really great because she knows a lot of inside knowledge. So that really adds substance to your report. Michelle, great way to start with a story. Okay, I thought that was well done, and I could tell you rehearsed that. So good job.
Yeah. Thank you.
Also,
it was a lot.
Vanessa, good pickup for Ravneet when her computer went down, froze. But don't worry about it; doesn't affect your presentation. Okay. And sorry, Ravneet, you were frozen for a while. We all were awkwardly sitting here wondering what was going on, but we fixed it, so it's okay. So yeah, so I liked how you tied in your research results into your conclusions. I thought that worked very well, and that's the purpose of doing a study like this. You may want to share all the first bunch of presentations here, your findings with the organizations, because you have a good sample size. You also have some qualitative knowledge. And I think you did a really good job. So I just wanted to let you know that. Okay.
Ron. Thank you, Ron.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Okay. 1 second here. Our next group is Danielle's group. This is who's in here. Okay. Yeah. Group. The 130 group. Okay. So Sunil Dorji. You guys are up.
I don't think like my whole group is here. Like I'll just like tell them to join.
Yeah, that'd be good because your time frame is right now. It's 1:30, right? So, oh, actually no, 1:50 is your time frame. Okay. Yeah, go get them to join. That's fine. Now, while we're breaking, guys, there is a internship that you may be interested in. I'm going to post today if I haven't done it already. I can't remember if I did it in your class or not. But the internship, if you're interested, is with a social media marketing firm. So I'm going to post it as an announcement. If you guys are interested, you could apply. It's a paid internship. If with a really kind of reputable company that does a lot of social media influencing. And it's from a person that I had brought to one of my classes. Her name's Tori Pierce, and she's looking for a good person. So I'll be posting that later today after our session here today. Okay. All right, guys, are you guys ready?
Yeah, they're coming. They're just a bit confused. Like they didn't know, like I think they thought like you were sending out like links or something to join. But yeah.
I sent the link. That's the, do they not have the Zoom link?
No, I think they're gonna find it in like announcements now.
Okay. Yeah, I sent that out last week. Someone wants to give them this, I'll put it in the chat area. You can text it to them. 1 second. Okay, so this group here should start to load their presentation.
Hi Ron, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good, good.
Hi, Ron. How are you?
I'm good, Dorothy. How's it going?
It's good, Ron. Snehal, can you share the screen, the presentation one?
You should be able to. Yeah.
Just a second.
What's the event you guys are doing? I can't recall. I just want to write it down here.
Nuit Blanche?
Nuit Blanche. Okay.
Okay. Just a second. It's opening up. Okay. Oops.
Okay, you guys ready to go?
Is all the team members here?
I think so, yeah.
Yep, I'm ready. We can start.
Obnit, like he's having issues with the technology. Give him a second. He's coming.
Okay.
Just brought out. Yeah.
Everybody on? We ready to go?
Obnit.
Hi, hello, sorry.
Okay, guys, let's get going.
So,
Avneet.
yeah, I'm going to. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I am Avneet Singh. And the group members are Dorji Dishapa, Tony, Nehal, Sarah, Aloha. Today, we are going to present to you our market research report on Nuit Blanche. Let's get started.
Sorry, I'm just having a few problems on my side right now. Hi, let me just go through the table of content first. Our table of content would consist of our introduction, our abstract and synopsis, our hypothesis, audiences, the problem, data approach, as well as our methodology, our literature review, our secondary data results, primary research approach, method, data analysis and results, and conclusion. Going back to our new plan and security concerns, Luplang is a famous art event that is hosted by the city of Toronto. This is a night-long visual art festival that happens every year for one single night. The event attracts a lot of visitors and attention from the public. Having said that, we still receive a lot of feedbacks and backlash due to the security problem. There are also various news that point out that New Plan don't have enough security safety measure in place.
Now, there's one more slide of introduction. Yeah. So, Nuit Blanche is a visual art festival that happens annually in 120 cities around the world for the whole night. What's special about the Nuit Blanche is its time of setting and the way of their arts are displayed in public spaces. Nuit Blanche is an art festival that works towards representing and expressing urban and cultural aspirations. Nuit Blanche was originated in France in 2002, then it was introduced in Toronto in 2006. This has become one of the city's most attractive and busiest events. At the level of Nuit Blanche, they still receive feedbacks and concern about the condition. We question ourselves, how can an event this size that attracted 1.2 million visitors in 2018 receive these kinds of feedbacks? So we strive to learn out what happened and came up with the solutions. Next slide. Yeah.
Tony, you are mute.
Right, yeah. Snail, slide 5. Yeah. Tony, can you chat? I think Tony is experiencing some problem.
So I'm just gonna talk about our hypothesis. Sorry, I'm having connection problem right now. So can you just give me 1 minute?
No problem. It happens, guys. Don't worry.
So do you want to continue, Dorji, until he reconnects?
Sure. Let me do it.
Yeah, I'll conclude this here. Let me complete.
Yep.
So Nuit Blanche offers a means of replacing the troublesome consequences of late night partying in regard to younger audiences, people of the town. But on the other hand, it had unfortunately led to overcrowding in the street, causing harm to the security of the attendees as well as the transportation system of Toronto. So for this, we did primary and secondary research with both quantitative and qualitative method. We found that majority of the people concerns are safety since various incident has happened till now.
For the hypothesis, considered everything said, here is our hypothesis. Nuit Blanche lacks security on site and needs to create easier access and to and from the event for individuals leaving with a great long-lasting impression. For the audience, our primary audiences are individuals who work and attend Humber College. Our secondary audiences are people who reside in GTA, neighboring cities, and future attendants of Nuit Blanche.
By conducting some initial research, we found that Nuit Blanche lacks an aspect of security for the attendees. From our research, we have come up with the question for our research. Why does Nuit Blanche have security issues? What is the city of Toronto doing to eradicate the issues that arise from the night event? What did people think about Nuit Blanche attendee safety? So for this, we have did lots of research and we have two types of methodology of research. So for the primary, we prepare a survey with questionnaire concerning the event and issues that we want to find out and send them to our respondent. We receive 121 response. Through the survey, we have a better perspective and understanding to our problem as we study the response, the answering, the pattern, and the statistics. And for the secondary data, we did multiple research, and from the multiple research, we found that there are multiple reliable sources such as newspaper, articles, web articles, and journals, as well as we did a professional interviewing.
Before our primary research, we did our secondary research. To support our secondary research, there are various website articles, journals from various sources. Also, we talk about youth aggressiveness, which shows that youth don't have trouble with safety concerns since they are hot blood and can defend themselves when they don't feel safe. As we did survey, this theory helps us to claim that why youth don't have security concerns.
Hi. So for the secondary research, we researched from different research papers, new reports, many other blogs and online reviews. We found out that there was overcrowding in every year's events, and several reports have been made of attendees being drunk and misbehaving in public places. Reports of violence towards police officers, and some of the cases ending up with the death of a person.
Regarding primary research, we follow both qualitative and quantitative method. For quantitative method, we did survey with the help of SurveyMonkey. Then we approached a city of Toronto Dundas Square event organizer for the qualitative data, and we received few feedback from him. where he also claimed that Nuit Blanche security is not as strong as other events.
Hi, for our research results, after doing the secondary and primary qualitative and quantitative research, we found that there are various issues frequently occurring at Toronto, even like substance uses, accessibility, and other violence, which is the reason events like New Blanc is facing backlashes. Even though there are no police and security present, still even there this is not safe because of the hooligans and who are mischievous would lead to violence.
This chart clearly represents the areas of concern within events in Toronto. The highest was with everything given below, which was 44.54%, weather being 22.69%, accessibility being 13.45%, substance usage being 11.76%, and violence is 7.56%. As almost half of the respondents suggest that all of the options mentioned are areas of concern, it can be said that Nuit Blanche lacks the amount of security present. This data represents the number of police and security personnel present in the event is increasing for the safety of the attendees. Our survey shows 44.17% are not sure and 36.67% people have recognized the safety concerns. The safety concerns have been addressed by the organizer and police, and security has been increased. This shows that there are concerns regarding safety at Nuit Blanche.
For the solutions, we came up with a couple of them. First is we need to hire more security as their presence would make the more effect. The security is there to present a message that event is secure. They are there to maintain order, protect the people, and enforce the law. Second, if the timing of the event is set earlier, they would have prevented the listed incidents. The fact that the event goes on late night at night contributes much to the security concerns as the criminals feels that they are being watched less. More strict consequences. There should be a system in place ready to investigate the incident that happens at the event, as well as more serious penalties to prevent people from posing acts of security risks. Fourth one is limitation on alcohol consumption. Set up security checkpoint as well as proper screening to timely identify alcohol threats and handle the threats immediately. And the last one is monitoring illegal consumption. The security checkpoints should look for individuals with symptoms or actions that may identify them as under the influence of illegal drugs.
So as a conclusion, we found that there are various security concerns regarding Nuit Blanche. When we did our research, we found that people have noticed security problem in Nuit Blanche, so it supports our hypothesis. And there were few challenges while we are doing our research. There were lack of past research paper regarding security concern of Nuit Blanche, but we still did our research and have some concrete data. After analyzing all the data, substance abuse is the main reason why Nuit Blanche has lots of security concern. So that's the first thing. If they can eliminate, it can cut off the concern by 50%. Then if they can reduce the time and increase the security, we found that security concern of Nuit Blanche can be decreased by overall 90%. So that's what we hope if the Nuit Blanche will be the best solution. Thank you.
This is the overall presentation from our group regarding the security concerns of Nuit Blanche. Thank you everyone for kindly listening to our presentation. It was a pleasure presenting our research report.
Okay, guys, thank you. So a couple of comments I'd like to make. First of all, I thought that it was a good research study that you did. A couple questions. You had a bunch of recommendations. Were those recommendations? How did you come about those recommendations?
So regarding the solution, we try to look at the area where they have organized this event. So they have mostly organized at the downtown Toronto. So majority of the downtown Toronto have alleys, and there are lots of places where there are lots of homeless people over there. So we found out that most of the reason this kind of problem is happening is because of the homeless person first. Second is the people who use lots of substances like illegal drugs and other things. And there are hooligans as well who try to make the event bad. So this thing that we first identified, and then to eliminate such things, we try to look at the solution. Like if we can reduce the number of time for event, that's the first thing which we can do, because if we reduce the time, police can come and have a look. And at night time, lots of people feels that there is less security, so they do lots of mischievous thing at night. So if we can reduce the time, then that's the first thing. That's what is important,
And we also
we
did
thought.
some critical thinking and discussions regarding it, just our own thoughts on what can be done. And then we searched about the safe festivals and how different festivals around the world are safe without these kind of security concerns. And we matched it and we suggested it into our research.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, the next
Thank you
group.
so much.
Harpreet, Min, and Navjot. Harpreet, Min, Empire, Navjot, are you guys there? I see Manpreet, he's on his phone. Okay, guys, you guys ready to go? Okay, if that group's not on the line, then we'll have to get some other group here. Hold on. Sunita's group and Anna's group, are you guys ready to go?
Hi, Ron. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You guys ready to go?
Yeah, I think we can.
Okay, thank you.
Let me set it. Hello.
Oh,
Hi. I'm facing some problem to my camera.
hi, Sunita.
Hi, Ron. My camera is a little bit blurry. Yeah, I don't know why. Okay, there we go.
There you go.
Are we all ready?
Yes.
I can't turn on my camera. I don't know what's happening with it.
You guys could put your presentation on slideshow. That would be great.
Okay, so can I present like this?
Go to the bottom right of this. There we go. Hey, you did it. Okay. All right. Looking forward to hearing what you found out, guys.
Wait, Jamila, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, go ahead. Okay. So, hello everyone. Has anyone been to the Boots and Huts? Thumbs up if yes, and thumbs down if no. Yes. Oh, great.
No.
Oh, okay. So let me tell you, our event of choice for our research assignment was the Boots and Huts Music Festival. The Boots and Huts Music Festival is a multi-day country music and outdoor celebration produced by Republic Live Inc. So we chose this event because it is marketed as an all-age overnight music event. So there are as many as 45,000 plus festival goers each day for the 4-day event. So festival goers can be from any and all age groups due to the event being marketed as an all-age musical experience. Boots and Hertz offers a variety of campaign facilities, making this event an overnight event, opportunities for various risks, issues, and unpredictable occurrences. The next, my friend Sunita will continue.
Hi, everyone. So when we started before we started our questions, we did our research and we came up and we found out that Boots and Hearts is an all age event. This means that kids can attend this event. And our main question was, how is the sale of alcohol being monitored responsibly for the use and consumption throughout the event, knowing that there are kids involved? And before we came up with our questions, before we collected all the data, we chose, sorry, 1 second. To make sure we have access to collect the data we needed, we reached out to and collected consent and asking individuals if they would be interested in participating in our research project. In addition, we had pulled all our data and information from Google, Facebook, LinkedIn to get all the relevant information that we will need. How we did our research. We used two forms of primary data. One was interviews. We conducted 15 interviews and we got their opinions on questions of this research. The primary data we use is surveys, which we use SurveyMonkey for this part of collecting data. Also, we reached out to previous participants in a short survey. For the secondary data, we use two forms of secondary data. First, secondary data, we use the library sources to get additional information. Also, it was used for any information that is needed to help us with our questions for the survey. And the secondary data, we use Google reviews and just collecting extra information that we needed. Next tab, I'll pass it over to Jamila for analysis.
So when we got all of this raw data, we had to find a way to just convert it, make it easier to read for anyone that read our report. So just for a synopsis of how our questions went, we asked fair questions about the experience of the event with alcohol in comparison to without. We asked people mostly of the 18 to 26 age range, because that's how much of our target audience was attending this event. We asked them, okay, so how comfortable are you with children being at this event? How do you feel alcohol affects this event? Have you felt insecure or felt like the protocols and security measures taken by Boots and Hearts has been appropriate for this type of event? You know, this type of event, it's a 3-night, 4-day event. So it's a lot of overnight camping. So there are times when not everyone could be monitored. So in our analysis, we try to focus a lot on that part of the event. So for security reasons, we questioned 75 people, 15 of which were interviews. And of that 75, 28 of them said they felt very secure in the event, even though it was alcohol, because of the particular protocols that Boots and Hearts takes to ensure that everyone is safe. And the 27 of them said they didn't feel insecure nor secure about their event. Another part of the survey, another issue that we brought up during the research was the overall experience. Were the policies, regulations, and alcohol affecting the attendees' experience? How did the thought of a mass number of people at this large event with children and alcohol affect the morals of people attending? A form of secondary data that we also analyzed was we found reviews on Google, and a lot of people complained about not having alcohol in the entertainment area. So the entertainment area of the event is where a lot of the antics goes on, if you will, for the festival. So it's where the performers perform. It's normally where a lot of people congregate. So there was a lot of online reviews of the issue of alcohol not being permitted in this area. And through our analysis, we realized that this policy actually helped regulate how attendees behaved and how the safety of not only attendees, but staff members were affected. So for our recommendations, I will be following up with Anna.
Thank you, Jamila. So for our recommendations, with these results, we started to analyze in ways in which the event can be safer for the attendees, monitoring for organizers, and less risky for all shareholders. Our recommendations are to use color wristbands for anyone who is consuming during the event. It will help others know who is consuming and who is not, as well as it helps to monitor the alcohol consumption and managing it more effectively. In addition, survey feedbacks after the event about their experience to help increase satisfactory and security in any concerns that may appear. Lastly, whenever someone wants to purchase a drink, it should come with a glass of water, and they should also promote food along with their drink. Overall, based on our analysis, we conclude that our initial hypothesis was valid, which in the event, they do check IDs, they follow alcohol procedures, they have security staff in every entry and exit. And by analyzing our findings, attendees can have a good understanding of what the event management is doing in order to make them feel safe. Thank you all for listening to our presentation.
Okay, guys, thank you. Good infographic and good explanation. I have a couple questions. So your main research question was about consumption of alcohol, and would you feel comfortable around having, be there with kids and the consumption of alcohol? You mentioned at the end that your hypothesis was valid. What was your hypothesis?
So our hypothesis was that even though you are allowed to bring alcohol into the event and you are also allowed to purchase it, that Boots and Hearts took the particular measures, not just as an event, but also as a Canadian organization, of not allowing people to get drunk and wander freely in the public.
Okay. I also like your recommendations. I think they're practical recommendations. Explain to me how you came about deciding on those recommendations.
So we came about these recommendations because it makes sense, because for wristbands, it can let other people know who is consuming and who is not. Especially if there's children around, the parents will know who you want to stay around with, who you should be careful with, or just to make sure who you're surrounded in your environment is. As well, for the survey, it helps the event staff to have feedback of if the people are secured, if they feel comfortable going, if they feel comfortable bringing their children in. Most of these recommendations we found online, especially for other music events, other live events. So that's how we got our recommendation.
Okay, very good. And what were your sources for secondary research? I'll read it when I read your report. I know you said Google reviews, but what were your, did you have any reports or articles or newspaper reporting or anything like that?
So we actually read a report. It was mostly about Coachella, but we used particular elements of this article to compare it to Boots and Hearts. So the article was just about how Coachella is one of the largest events in Northern America, a fashion event, and how much how much not only food waste, but also plastic waste that it consumes in its term. And a lot of that food waste was from just like people not following the alcohol regulations where you get food with your beverage. A lot of people ended up getting wasted before they actually had their food, and that collected upon the waste of the event.
Very good. Excellent. Okay, guys, thank you very much. All right. The group that was supposed to be before them, you guys are up now. So that's Navjot, Harpreet, Min, Yu Young, and Empire. You guys on the line here?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so you guys have the screen. It's your turn to go. You guys ready? Excellent. Okay.
Okay, hi Ron.
Hi.
So we are doing a research on Sarasaga event. Our team members are Navjot, Harpreet, Empire, Min. So next is
Can you guys put your screen on slideshow on the bottom? Go right to the bottom. You can see the little slideshow and just make it go slideshow.
I can see.
It's on top. It's on top.
Right at the bottom on the right of your screen.
It's on top.
I can see it.
Where it says slideshow on top, it's like right on review. Like go up more. You were just there.
There you go. Up.
Up.
Over to the left. Go over one.
Where?
Slideshow. Go more to
Oh,
the right.
got it. Sorry. So now from
there, it's fine.
Side. Okay.
Yay. There we go. No problem. Go for it.
Thank you. So multiculturalism is all about equal rights, opportunities, and inclusion of diverse culture or racial groups in the society. Nowadays, across the world, multiculturalism festivals are organized that includes participation from both ethnic groups and general public. Sarasaga event. So I'm gonna go to next slide. Okay. Sarasaga event is one of that festival which is held in Mississauga in the month of May and lasts for 3 days. There are artistic performances as well as dance, music, fashion show, dramas, and singing. So in this presentation, We will explore the Sarasaga festival and the potential impact that it will have on social sustainability through the multiculturalism framework and inclusion of people from diverse ethnic backgrounds into the mainstream festival. We are expecting to develop a deep understanding of how all ethnic groups have unique cultural identity of their own and how each of these unique culture can be brought together to foster highest level of social sustainability and inclusion. The question that we wish to answer after the completion of research assignment is whether multicultural festival like Sarasaga festival helps nurture a feeling of mutual respect and acceptance of diverse ethnic groups and their cultural identity. So next I'll pass it on to Harpreet to explain about research techniques that we used.
Thank you, Navjot. We used primary, secondary, and qualitative and quantitative research techniques. We identified all the characteristics of multicultural festivals by utilizing both data sources, and it has been proven that experience of visitors has been helped the society and industry to organize even more better festivals in upcoming years. Our primary research sources are online questionnaire, which has 11 questions. Those were open-ended and in which 40 respondents were approached and 35 agreed to respond. However, complete responses were gathered from 31 respondents only. Our respondents include participants, audience, sponsors, and organizers of the Sarasaga event. Talking about the age and gender of the respondents, there were 44% of respondents. Those were female and who belonged to the age of 18 to 24 years. It was followed up by 7 males who were the age group of 18-24 and formed 23% of the respondent. 10% of the respondents were female and 17% of the males respondents were falling in the group of 25 to 34 years. Talking about secondary research sources, we had a literature review technique, journal articles, official websites of Sarasaga event, Google Scholars, assessed through. So in the next 2 slides, we have attached the example of questionnaire that we added. So yeah, now I'll pass it on to Empire. Thank you.
Oh, no, this is not my part. Sorry, guys.
Okay, so this is our survey questions. I'm just showing you. This is your part.
So in this review literature, the key characteristics of all the different multicultural festivals are being identified, and then the actual rules of these festivals are completely explained. There is a current trend shown in the flourishing in the trade of the world, internationalizing education, and even there are cross-cultural marriages that are taking place all over the world. There are many people who are seen to be migrating from one country to the other. According to plot, the number of migrants is increasing with each passing year, and therefore there are several societies which are also visible in the foreign countries, and these societies play a role in comforting the people from the other countries. Next, please. And this bird culture festival can also use many different skills and the information related to most of the culture present in the festival. The understanding the essence of multiculturalism and learning the different strategies that are required to construct a very important and successful multicultural society, so that a proper platform of knowledge can be formed. There is a huge mobility observed within the people in the last few decades, and therefore the word multiculturalism has become very famous in today's world. Next, please. So All the festivals that are being held are seen to be getting involved in some form of the social connections and concentrations. According to a researcher, there are groups that are found where there are several differences that are observed. There may not be strong social entities and very weak structure socially, and they are merely formed based on the common interest, race, culture, and others. These are the groups where the social connection increases through these multicultural festivals. All the cultural festivals are basically the expressions of different cultures, and the social interaction is very much instrumental in their festivals. So the patterns of the different stereotypes, thoughts, and prejudice can easily be broken if there are direct contact within the group. Next, please.
In this chart,
Yep. When approached with the question whether events like the Karasoga Festival help spread awareness about multiculturalism and other cultures, almost all respondents believe that these events do help increase awareness about such matters. Only one respondent was of a contrary opinion where he believed that events like this do not spread awareness about multiculturalism. Next, please. So 27 respondents constituting 87% of the total people surveyed expressed their opinion that events like Karasoga Festival helps foster inclusion of less represent ethnic groups in the mainstream society. On the other hand, the remaining 13% did not approve of such fostered by multicultural events like this one. And next page, Empire will explain it.
okay, so it's shown that the population of the people strongly believe that more events bring people together and build interest in the people to participate, and especially the youth. And when it comes to festivals like this, next slide. Wait, just one moment. Hold on. Okay, in this pie chart, explain the population on who recommends if people would like to take part in such events, such as the Karsaga Festival. 42 people state that they're very likely to participate, 45 said likely, and 13 said unlikely. So everybody has like a different opinion if they're gonna be a part of a festival like this or any other festival. Suggestions for improvement states that the people suggest that more awareness shall be spread. Also the entry of the event should be free, because a lot of people believe that when it comes to multicultural, a lot of people are aware of different people's culture, and for people to bring awareness, it's a great way for people to learn other people's culture. Next. The benefits of multicultural events: it promotes tourism and social sustainability, and it helps achieve growth for local businesses, and it spreads awareness about other cultures that people didn't know of. And then, and to conclude this PowerPoint, the multicultural helps nurture and the feeling of a mutual respect, acceptance of diverse groups and their cultural identity. Next. And then these are, go back. And then these are all our references based on all the information that we got in our PowerPoint.
Okay.
And then this concludes.
Can you go back to your conclusions, please? I just want to see them. I didn't really get to see them. Okay. Okay, thank you very much. All right, guys. So that Karasaga is an excellent event. You only had 31 respondents, which is a bit low, but of those 31 respondents, how did you get those respondents, and what makeup were they ethnically? Are they do they make up the ethnic groups that attend Karasaga?
So that was the sponsors or the organizers and the audience that were present in the Sarsaga event, and that was the questionnaire we presented them. They were like 40 of them, and we got the answer from 31.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Excellent. Okay. Well, thank you guys.
Thank you
Well,
so
listen-
much.
Yeah, thank you. So listen, guys, thank you everybody for all the hard work and doing your research study. I think you probably learned something from doing this, and I appreciate all the effort you all put into it. This is probably your last class in Humber. Is this your last class in Humber right now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, and final day. So I want to thank everybody. It's been a pleasure teaching you guys, and some of you really inspired me today because you learned a lot and you applied the research process that was important in this course as a whole. Now, every year though, I have to pick a winner of the research, and the winning group, I thought from their presentation, their research findings and everything else, was group number 1 who did the We Day challenge. You guys, I think you guys topped it off, but special mention also to the group that did the National Bank and the Val Music Festival. I thought Nuit Blanche, you guys did pretty good, but you needed to practice more with your presentation. You fumbled quite a bit with it, and I think you would have made a better response if you maybe practice a little more with your presentation overall. But guys, overall, I could tell that you've learned about the process of research, and it's been terrific working with all of you. Are there any questions of Ron?
I have a question.
Sure.
So I submitted our PowerPoint yesterday,
Okay.
and I think I made a mistake, so I submitted a new one today, and it said it's late. Are you gonna like mark us down because of that?
No, don't worry. I'll mark, because you told me that, I'll mark the second one, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. No problem at all. Now, don't forget, guys, your social media posts are due today by 11:59 p.m. You were to be posting every week about the things you're learning in the class and engaging in the process of research. So show, further learning and research on the process of research and the things that we've been doing overall. Any other questions of Ron before I sign off? You should have a total of 14 posts. There's 14 classes. Oh, actually, no. I just realized there's 13 classes.
Yeah, it did change.
Because we had
Good
Easter.
Friday.
Yeah, Good Friday, right. So there's 13 classes, so 13 posts. Thank you, Christina.
Thank you, Ron, for a great semester.
Oh, thank you, guys. You all have a terrific summer. And if you haven't LinkedIn to me, you can check out my contacts if you're looking to find people in the event industry and you're trying to find a job. Also, I will be posting a internship that is available. To paid internship, so you should see it on there. It's from a really great firm that is looking for someone to help with their social media marketing. And other than that, no more questions, guys?
Quick question. When would you have our presentations and our assignments marked by, roughly?
I knew someone would ask that. The presentations, I have them marked now already because I did it as we were going. It takes me a bit of time to read through your reports, right? Because they're 30 pages long, most of them. So I probably will have those done by early next week, okay? But the presentation, I'll have them in there before the end of the weekend or on Monday or something like that. Okay. Thanks again, everybody. You have a terrific week. You all deserve a break. As you know, it's been a long term in COVID. Not what we wanted, but at least we got a lot out of it. You've all learned how to use Zoom and to present using Zoom, which is a good thing. All right. Take care, guys. Bye for now.
Thank you. Bye.
Stay in touch. Yeah.
We have something to discuss about our group.
Okay, one second then.